Welcome back to Brossard, Quebec. We are now getting ready and just a few moments away from the 5v5 competitive final. I am Alexis Dubois here alongside
Kwesi Gordon Mall.
and we are getting ready for this showdown. Just a few minutes ago, you saw Braves beat Flagmotisac. Your eyes are not kidding you. This is a rematch, but now in the 5v5 division. Braves won the first one. That being said, Flagmotisac have been the better 5v5 team. Kwesi, you play both 5v5 and 6v6. How's the game different, and who does it benefit?
So the game is completely. Hello? Yeah, so the game is completely different. The fact that you have to go. Well, actually, it's kind of is the different, but it's also not the difference because they changed the rules now where you have to go. It's basically you have 4 downs to go midfield, but last season it was completely the opposite. But now we have less players on the field. So instead of having 6 players, you have 5. So I think the fact that you have 5 players, it is going to benefit Flagmois a bit more. I feel like their receivers and the chemistry with Alex Pease and his receivers, his receiving core is going to be a bit more the route running and the chemistry on passing the ball to them. I think it's going to have a bit of advantage. Even though the Braves have been playing with each other for so long, I think the advantage is going to go to Flagmois just because the field is shorter and the field is smaller.
This is crazy to say because Braves are not only the best 5v5 team in FPF, but very possibly the best or second best 5v5 team in Canada. But I'll go out on a limb here and say that the Braves, having lost previous matchups, are probably the underdog coming into this game. How can Flagmois, a team who doesn't have the same pedigree as the Braves, manage to come in as a final and as a favorite? And what do they do better than the Braves?
They just so what they do better than the Brave, I think, is just on the route running, and them being able to.
And we're now turning our attention down to field level. Alex Nadeau-Pugh's quarterback for Flagmotisac is analyzing his playbook and getting ready for the first down of this 5v5 final. As a reminder, 5 players on the pitch. That is your main difference. 1 to the left, 2 to the right, and a snapper. Nadeau-Pugh standing right behind the snapper, looks at the ref, gets the all clear, takes the snap, and he's looking immediately towards the depths, and he's intercepted by J.D. Chevalier, returning the ball to the 5-yard line before being forced out of bounds. A first play interception. Are the Braves in his head?
So I don't think they're. Maybe they're in his head since the last game that they just played. Right there, I think he just underthrew his receiver. He had the wide open gap at the beginning, so I think he felt like his receiver was going to come look back at him. But unfortunately, he didn't. He still threw the ball. The defender, JD, was able to come down on and make the pick. And now the Flagmois is kind of in a situation here where they need to have a stop or at least show some confidence saying that we're still in this game.
Yes, and the big addition to the Braves roster compared to that 6v6 final is Mr. Gabriel Dabé-Champagne, one of the best players in FPF, a weapon on both sides of the ball. Number 14, a player to keep your eyes on. We now have this traditional 5v5 bunch set. Mike Piercin snaps it to Maher. The shovel pass towards now the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremy Murphy. What a start for the Braves. An interception, a return. And now this 6 points courtesy of Murphy.
Yeah, that was a good play design. It's something that the Braves do quite often. It's pretty much impossible to stop if you don't know exactly what they're doing. So fortunately, as Flagmois is on a team that's used to seeing that kind of concept and that kind of formation all the time, it's something that Braves are definitely going to take advantage of.
And Braves are now setting up for a 2-point convert. This is a team that just about exclusively goes for 2. The 2 players you want to keep your eyes out on are both to the left. It is Murphy and Drysdale, and Maher was looking towards Drysdale there, covered by the talented François Rochelot. The pass was behind Drysdale. The convert is no good, and Nadeau-Pugh has a chance to crack this Braves defense open once again.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good defensive convert stop for Flagmois because you definitely don't want to go down by 8. At least right now, the game's still manageable. There's still lots of time left, and they're only down by 6.
We now have a trips to the left, no receivers to the right. Nadeau-Pugh takes the snap. He's looking towards his brother. He pumps fakes. He gets away from Allard. He completes it towards the other Nadeau-Pugh, who's then tackled by Murphy. That was very nearly a safety.
Yeah, he's very fortunate that was not a safety. Isaiah Allard just missed him. He missed him twice. The first attempt he missed him. The second attempt he missed him. And I'm sure if he had a third attempt, he was definitely going to get the sack there.
As we saw in the last championship game, while Isaiah Lard is a rusher, his specialty is not sacks, it is defended passes. He occasionally does miss the sack. We now have Nadeau Pius looking towards the depths, back towards his brother. Tackle made by Gabriel Dabé-Champagne, but not before the first down was gained.
Yeah, so the issue with Isaiah Lard right now is that he takes away the middle of the field, and any of those crossing routes, those deep digs, those deep ends, it's not something that most quarterbacks are able to see.
He gets in your passing lanes. I've said it before. He takes away just about a 5 to 7 yard window, and in this smaller 5v5 field, that 5% is that those 5 yards is a much larger percentage than in the wider 6v6.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And something that, to kind of mention what the Braves do, especially on defense, is that they don't cover the middle as much because Isaiah takes it away. So they're able to play. They're able to cover other sections on the field, which makes it a huge advantage on them.
They essentially get to double up on the sidelines, and you don't need to cover that first 10 yards in the middle of the field because Isaiah is not only rushing, he is also covering. He's one of the most talented players in FPF. Very high defensive rating. Second down now for Flagmois sack, defended by Isaiah, and that's why you don't try him over the middle of the field.
Yeah, exactly. It is. His wingspan, his arm span is very frustrating for a lot of quarterbacks. As soon as his hands are in the air and you're trying to kind of get a ball over top of him, most of the time he is going to bat it down.
And that's exactly what you saw there. So what you need to start working on is then layering your sidelines. A flood, a deep out, a fly. You have to try to attack the sidelines because the middle of the field is not there. And we know that Nadeau Pius has the arm talent to make any throw on the field. He needs to start adapting his play calling. Let's see if he does so on third down. He catches the snap. He looks towards his right. He throws towards the back of the end zone. It is caught by his brother Samuel, but that was a dangerous pass. JD and Murphy were very close to getting hands on that.
Yeah, so it was a dangerous pass, but that's literally what he does. He puts the ball where only his defender could do. A lot of other quarterbacks would have thrown that ball, and it probably would have been intercepted. But as you can see, his brother was not even open before he threw the ball. Before he even made his breaking route, the ball was already gone. So that's something that's advantage between him and his brother. That combo is really deadly, especially when they're on fire and it starts going.
And that's where the talent of Nadeau Pius lies. He has so much faith in his arm. He can make those throws. He has this established connection, opting to go for two now to take the lead. He looks towards his brother Samuel on the out route. There was a ginormous amount of contact. No, that is not a word. No flag on the play. Kwesi, do you think that was a penalty, or is that clean?
No, I think that was fine. I think Jeremy kind of just stood his ground. There, it seems like Braves were in a kind of like a lane defense there, so I think he kind of just didn't move. I feel like if he kind of stuck out his hands and kind of made a more of aggressive movement, I think they probably would have called a flag there. But because he kind of just stood his ground and didn't use his hands, that's the reason why there wasn't a flag.
And yes, they did start the game Flagmois sack with an interception, but the one time where it nearly feels like you have that free interception is on your first drive because they have the score all tied up now. Pass completed quickly to Chateauvert, a 3-yard gain before he was tackled by Guillaume Robert. But if there is time to throw an interception, it's probably your first drive of the game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Also, something to also realize is that the difference between 5v5 and 6v6 in Division 1 and competitive is that defenses do get stops. It starts to be a thing. Usually on 6v6, it's kind of score for score, and whoever throws the first pick kind of loses the game. But in this situation, you're going to see that both defenses are going to get stops here.
And both defenses do get stops. We're now looking towards Mike Piercin. Pass is complete. Tackle made by Nadeau Pius. This Braves defense has 14 interceptions on the season. Flagmois sack, very similar, 13. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Kwesi. In Division 1, the Braves defense had 22 interceptions, significantly less here in 5v5, but you're able to produce stops on downs, which is generally rare in the 6v6 format.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
We now have third down, 4 yards to gain. This is traditionally where the Braves like to take a deep shot towards Murphy. He's running a post across the field. There's a wheel towards Chevalier. It's perfectly covered. We are setting up a 4th and short. What would you dial up here?
So just want to go back to that. That was really good coverage by Flag. They literally covered everything from the post, the wheel, and even the slant out. They did a great job there. Sorry, you asked what would I call for Bray? Yeah, for Brays here, I would kind of maybe call some crossing routes, kind of maybe a flood to the left side. I think that's something that should work. You kind of put Mike underneath. You take JD JD maybe a 10-yard out, and then you tell Gab to go as a straight through.
And we did see David Champagne enter the game, taking the spot of Emile Chateauvert. Fourth down, a big play early in the first half. Meyer looks towards the deep zone. It is picked off by Nadeau Pius at his 2-yard line. Should he have simply batted that ball down?
I think he should have batted that ball down, but he didn't see what was coming behind him, what was in front of him. So he just made a play where he figured, if let me just go get this just in case. A lot of situations sometimes what happens where you do have a bat down, you bat it down, it ends up going into the opposite team's hands, and then people are kind of looking at you, why don't you just pick it off? So unfortunately, because he didn't bat the ball down, I think they're gonna bring it. Oh, for some reason, they're going to bring it to the 5.
It seems to be an interesting decision. He was not tackled at the 5-yard line. He was tackled at the 2. But regardless, the football gods have pardoned his mistake. Not that making an interception is ever considered really an error. And they got their stop. We're now back on a level playing field. Now the Pius has the chance to score, take the lead. He completes towards his brother Samuel, who makes JD Chevalier miss, crosses midfield before he's tackled by Murphy. He's now 1 yard across midfield. Something we see Braves do very often is take that knee. Take the knee at the 24-yard line instead of gaining that first down. Is that something you think Flagmois can also adopt as a strategy?
Yeah, that's exactly it. He definitely should have took a knee or at least stopped before getting past midfield. When you do that, you're able to get a kind of basically 2 or 3 free plays because it's hard to stop someone by getting 1 yard to get a first.
And instead now we have essentially a 1st and 25 for the Flagmois offense. We see a crosser towards Rochelot over the middle of the field. It is completed, but that's a 5-yard gain on first down, setting up 2nd and 20. This is an automatic 2nd and long scenario.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Not the best play calling there, but again, it's 5 yards. It's still 5 yards at the end of the day. They still have 3 more downs to score a touchdown here, and Flagmois is a team where they don't need 2 or 3 plays. 1 play is more than enough. How this offense runs.
You're completely right. And Francois Rochelot, whenever you can get the ball in his hands, it's always a good idea. This is a talented receiver. He has the speed. He has the moves to produce yards after the catch. 2nd down, 20 yards to go. Nadeau Pius under center takes a step. He's looking back towards Rochelot. Complete. He spins out of bounds. Rochelot is showing why he was one of the best receivers in the division, how he caught 43 passes for 740 yards and 18 scores in the regular season.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Just from what I was just saying, we were in a 2nd and 20 right now. Now we're at a 3rd and 2. So it just goes to show that the extra 5 yards that they got there on the first down did actually help them.
And this short yardage scenario can be one of the hardest places to score from on the field. It's an immediate out route, and that the Nadeau Pius brothers make it look easy. It's that connection, that experience, and it's a touchdown from Pius to Pius for 6.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I feel like he kind of knew he was going to his brother off the bat. As soon as he made that break, he put the ball where only his brother was able to catch it, and there you go. Now Flagmois is up 12-6.
A big storyline in the 6v6 final was converts. Braves converted. They ultimately nearly took a possession lead simply based on 2-point convert attempts. Here we now have a chance for Flagmois to score the first 2-point convert of the game and establish victory through the convert game. Let's see if they're able to. They're going for 2, a bunch set to the left of Pius. He looks towards his right, flips back towards his left. Isaiah Lard says, "No, sir," bats it down.
Yeah, so I don't think Flagmois is a team that does a bunch concept. I think they shouldn't do it. I think it kind of disrupts their route running a bit, because since they're not used to doing a bunch concept on the route running as much, it seems like he was going to his brother in the middle of the field, but I don't think that was even there in the first place.
I'm not sure if it was there, and what Pius seems to be trying to do is to go through multiple reads, and he does come back over the middle of the field. The issue is that Isaiah's right there and is taking that passing lane away. It is a 12-12 game. Pass complete towards Emile Chateauvert. He makes a man miss. He dips, he dives, he crosses midfield.
Yeah, so that was an easy play calling. It's just a quick drag. Unfortunately, they didn't call a flag on I believe that was...
There was no flag called on
That
the
was
play.
on Frashlo that made it a defensive stop. So unfortunately, they did not call a flag. It looked a bit of contact, but again, when you're a receiver like Emile, when you come down that low, it's kind of like you're just kind of using your body to get in the way, and he's not the biggest guy, so he does fall down sometimes quite often.
Any contact does wind up pushing you off balance when you're getting that low and moving that fast. Either way, it was enough for a first down. Pierre Saint snipes it towards Maurer. We're looking towards JD Chevalier. The tackle is not made. The touchdown is good. The Braves take back the lead.
Yeah, so that was kind of weird. I didn't even think he was going to make that throw over the top. It looked like it was pretty tight when looking at the replay. But actually, no, the window was good. I thought maybe Khashlo was going to come underneath, or even Guillaume was going to make it underneath, undercut it, but they didn't. So good play on for Mayer and a good touchdown for JD.
There was a very tight window where that pass could have been made. It needed to be made in front of Rochelot and then behind Nadeau Pius. That's exactly where Mayer thread the ball. We have JD Chevalier dropping as a second quarterback. 2 rushers coming. The sack is made. The convert is no good. We have a 12-12 game.
I wonder if that actually helped Flag Moi. The fact that they weren't really set up by the time the ball was set. I think maybe it kind of put Braves off timing for a lot of their routes. It was very weird how the fact that Mayer even got sacked in that situation. But at the end of the day, now we have a 12-12 tie game.
12-12, 6 minutes left in the first half. We're coming for you live from Brossard, Quebec. In the booth, I'm Alex as well with Crazy Gordon Mall. And Flag Moi have a first down. He looks off François Rochelot. He completes the Samuel Nadeau Pius, who scrambles across midfield before Phil Ferrand finally pulls the flag. That's a 20-yard gain, setting up a 1st and 23 yards to the end zone.
Yeah, so very easy concept right here. They just ran all hooks. Yeah, they ran all hooks here. Jeremy Murphy missed the tackle on. Jeremy Murphy just missed the tackle. They end up getting the first down, and now they're going to be first down and goal.
And we have Guillaume Bellan, who has just entered the game for Flag Moi-le-Sac, a talented veteran of the league. He's running a post across the middle of the field. Instead, Nadeau Pius looks towards Jérémy JP Saint-Pierre. That's a 7-yard gain, getting closer, inching towards the end zone.
Yeah, so that was a good coverage by the Braves. Even though it was a complete for Flag Moi, they had a post across the field, and they had a sneaky wheel coming from the backside. And then they just had kind of like 2 hooks over top with the snapper. So again, it doesn't seem like it's much, but there was a big stop by the Braves there because it could have been a touchdown.
And this is a talented Braves defense. They have 14 interceptions on this season. Leading the charge for that defense is Jeremy Murphy, who just saw make the tackle. 4 INTs to go along with 10 defended passes. And their second DB is actually their quarterback, Jonathan Maurer, who's not on the field at the moment. Are you surprised to see Maurer not playing defense?
No, not exactly. Right now with the Braves, it seems like they add new players on every single year or every couple years. So it seems like I feel comfortable with Jeremy, Farhan, JD, and Gab, and then you have Isaiah as a rusher. I don't see why Mayer would sometimes play defense. He could kind of just focus on running the offense.
I'm not sure he would take off the field to put Maurer on. We're looking over the middle of the field. Intercepted by Gabriel Dabé Champagne. A huge play. Turnover. Gab Dabs making his impact felt on this game. A great play.
Yeah, it was a good coming down on it. He was kind of covering over top, and he ended up shooting underneath, which is a great move by a defender.
He ran the route for the receiver. He read the eyes of the quarterback. He jumped that perfectly. He claimed that ball as his, and that's a key play in this game. It is first down Braves, now with a chance to take the lead. And remember, Kwesi, they're starting with the ball in the second half. So not only do Braves want to score, they want to milk these 3 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
The closer to 0 they can get, the better. First down Braves. We're looking towards the middle of the field. He was aiming towards JD Chevalier, who was open. A slight miscommunication. JD was not where his quarterback wanted him to be.
Yeah, it seems like JD was running a post. I think he wanted him to run a sit. The post was going to end up running into a DB zone. So I think Mayer wanted JD to kind of sit. JD didn't really know he wanted to sit, so he just kept going. And Flag Moi got the stop, and they stopped the clock. Oh, not that they did not stop the clock, but second down and long.
Yeah, because we're not in the pro clock yet. Our pro clock will start in 40 seconds. That combo Maher, the JD, is usually on the same page. A slight little error in what they read there. But now we're going back towards the hook. This time Rochelot read it and was centimeters away of coming up with his own interception.
Yeah, so that's very fortunate that Mayer did not throw a pick there. Rochelot read it. Guillaume was also right next to it. If Mayer throws that ball 1 second later, I believe that's probably a pick six from Rochelot.
He has the speed to return that one, and our official Brent Young has just whistled. We are entering the pro clock, which means time will stop on incomplete passes, out of bounds, and first downs. We have third down. Braves have still not picked up a single yard on this possession. 2 incomplete passes. They're going to be looking to cut this in half on third down. Maybe a little dig from Emile Chateauvert. Let's see what Maru is thinking of. The rushers jumped offside. He resets Jaimara's time. He's looking deep towards Murphy, who elevates. Touchdown, Jeremy Murphy. What a catch.
Yeah, that was a really good catch. The coverage was there though. I don't understand why he didn't get deep enough. I don't think he realized that Mayer was gonna throw that over the top. Unfortunately, for flag one sack that he did, and Jerry made a beautiful catch.
Jeremy made a fantastic catch, and Samuel Nadeau-Pius was in position. He kept pace with a very quick Murphy. All he had to do was turn his head and make a play on the ball. He wasn't able to get his head around, and Murphy made the highlight reel catch. Braves take the 6-point lead. That being said, there's a minute 53 left on the clock. They might have scored a bit too fast. Let's see if Flagma can make them pay. But first, we have a 2-point convert coming up. Murphy and JD Chevalier to his left. JD drops back as a second QB. He's throwing deep towards Gabriel Dabi-Champagne. The pass is out of bounds, and I think Champagne had already stepped on the blue line. There is no way that pass was being completed.
Yeah, he did step on the blue line. That's actually the Braves ran the same exact play, the same 2-point convert play they ran before, where he wanted to hit Gab back in the end zone. Unfortunately, got a sack, so they went with it again, and he just overthrew it this time.
He did slightly overthrow it. That being said, it was a very un-Braves move to score the touchdown there. They have left this talented Flagmois team a lot of time to tie up the game. A minute 53 might even be too much time as Nadeau-Pius takes the snap. He's not looking deep. He's instead looking short. It is bobbled. It is an interception. That is a dagger. The usually short-handed JP Saint-Pierre tossed up that ball right into the hands of Gabriel Dabi-Champagne. Now the Braves have a chance to not only single dip, double dip, but triple dip. They scored, and they now want to score again, but I believe we have a challenge incoming. Did you see something that could be challenged, Kwesi?
I did not see anything that was going to challenge, but I'm curious to see what they're going to be calling. If you look on the replay over here,
we're waiting on the replay. We have Walter Berry, a seasoned official, in the booth. We're waiting for what might be challenged on this play,
they're challenging PI.
They're challenging defensive pass interference. Have you seen anything which might indicate defensive pass interference?
I did not, unless they're calling it on the other side. I believe they're calling it on the left side. So
yes.
Look on the replay over here. Yeah, there is pass interference.
Phil Ferrand?
Yeah, Phil Ferrand runs into number 83.
Which is Guillaume Robert.
Yeah, he runs right into him. So it's a weird...
So illegal contact since the ball was not in the vicinity. That is a challengeable play. We're still waiting to have a replay exactly of the contact. But it seems like on the left-hand side of your screen, there may have been a contact with the number 83.
So he's about to break into his route right here. He gets completely hit, bumped, then the ball gets thrown.
So the other question which comes into play is, was the ball out of his hand? If the ball's out of the quarterback's hand, can you have illegal contact anymore, or then you're looking at unnecessary roughness?
You definitely if it's not illegal contact, it's unnecessary roughness. They have to call something. You can't just run into a player and get away with it, right? Especially when we have challenges.
So what we believe in the booth here is that we are looking at an illegal contact penalty, which would overturn the interception on the field. But nonetheless, we also had a costly drop by JP Saint-Pierre. He's not this team's leading receiver, but he is a veteran of Flag Marsac and not the kind of player you expect to bobble up a ball.
Yeah. Do you think maybe he's tired from playing his Division 6 game?
And we're also looking at someone here who's a rusher in hot, humid conditions here in Brossard. He could be feeling the fatigue. I think we have a decision coming down now. Brent Young is pressing against his ear, listening to word from Walter Berry, our official in the booth. We should have a decision momentarily. We're still waiting on the call. So our two outcomes here would either be an illegal contact penalty, first down, up 5 for Flagmore sack. In the alternative, it would be a back-breaking interception by Gabriel Dabi-Champagne, his second of the game, setting up Braves in a position to score, take a 2-possession lead, and then recommence the second half with the ball.
Yeah, I don't. For me, I think that is a flag. But again, I'm not a ref. It just seems. It seems like there is going to be contact on that on the play.
Kwesi, maybe you should be a ref. You're entirely right. I think pinstripes would suit you very well. You saw that one perfectly when I did not see anything. I do like letting defense play a bit more than your average commentator. So we went from what could have been, in all honesty, a game-ending interception to a first down for Flagmore sack. What a call.
Yeah,
Great use of the challenge.
Yeah, great use. I guess as soon as Alex kind of realized that was a pick,
he saw it immediately. He now throws the ball into the dirt. A very rare misfire. He was looking back towards JP St. Pierre, wanted to give his receiver a bit of confidence. Instead, we're looking at now a second down. That penalty came with an automatic first.
Yeah, so that's exactly something that's also very fortunate for Flagmore, that they kind of got back. They got a first down. They got an automatic first down. So the fact that it's second and about 15 to the first down to obtain the next first down, it's not the end of the world that he threw that ball.
It lets them run more time. That penalty means they can gain a first down, a second first down. He's now looking towards François Wachelot. The pass is completed. He makes Jeremy Murphy miss. He does not make Phil Ferrand miss. He not only comes up with one flag, he comes up with both. Time is stopped. We'll recommence on the whistle. That was a first down. A minute 33 on the clock. Kwesi, do Flagmore want to score at all costs, or are they more concerned with burning some clock?
No, they definitely want to burn some clock here. They do not want to have Braves. They don't want to give Braves enough time to make a score, because if they do give the Braves enough time to score, it becomes a 2-possession game again. No, it becomes a 1-possession game, but the Braves get back the ball in the second half. So right now, I think
it could become a 2-possession game. If Braves score, go up 1, they can then score and go up 2. And 2 possessions is really a backbreaker in FPF. Nadeau Pius takes the ball. Will he run time? Will he look end zone? He's looking end zone. It is intercepted by Dabi-Champagne. There are no flags on the play. Nothing to be challenged, I believe. What a play by Gabriel Champagne.
Yeah, so that was very weird. I don't even know where Alex was even throwing the ball in that situation.
I think he was looking towards his brother Samuel at the back of the end zone. It was clearly not the right decision.
No, not the right decision at all, especially after being first down. I wonder if that was tipped by Isaiah.
You think Isaiah got his hands on that? It's very possible.
I wonder. It seems like it got
because
tipped
otherwise
a bit.
it looks like the kind of mistake you don't expect Nadeau Pius to make, but that was also a fantastic break on the ball, and there you see all the talent of Champagne on full display. We now do have confirmed a chance for a rare triple dip from the Braves. Maurer's looking towards... Intercepted by François Rochelot. Another mistake. Maurer has his hands on his knees. He is frustrated. These are not the kind of mistakes you expect to see from the two best quarterbacks in FPF and maybe in Canada.
So something to also look at, I don't think James Drysdale is coming back into this game. It seems like he's sitting on the bench and he's hurt. Just something to kind of point out. He hasn't been on the field in the past 2 drives going both sides. Also, the play that they just ran, as Rochelot just missed a pick on the last drive, he got the pick on this drive.
And we now have a chance to avoid the triple dip and instead tie up this game. We have a completed pass to Samuel Nadeau Pius for a pickup of 7 yards. Clock is running. Second down at the 4-yard line. Those 2 interceptions just erased each other, and this is exactly where Flagmore Sac wanted to be, pretending like nothing happened.
Yeah, this is literally the best situation for Flagmore. The fact that they wasted some clock getting that first down and then throwing a pick.
Second down, looking on the out route towards his brother. It is bobbled. It is caught. It is a touchdown. We have a tie game. Now Flagmore Sac have the chance to go from down 3 possessions to taking the lead with this convert.
Yeah, so basically what I was trying to say before, the fact that Flagmore wasted some clock through a bad interception, got Braves to waste some clock, obtain an interception, and then now they're able to score here and leave only 20 seconds on the clock for Braves to make an attempt to score an air touchdown going the other way.
It's the dream scenario for Flagmore. It's nearly like they drew up the double interception play. It allowed them to run more clock. Clearly not what they drew up, but it wound up working very well in their favor. An interesting decision here, not something we see very often with Flagmore. They're opting to go for one. They've converted 16 one-point converts this season, trying to take the lead after having difficulty completing two-point converts. We there once again see the telescopic arms of Isaiah Lard getting in passing lanes. The convert is no good. Isaiah Lard batted that one out of the air.
Yeah, so right now I don't think their 2-point attempts are working out for them. So they decided to change it up, maybe go for one, take the lead, get the momentum going. But again, Isaiah just takes away the middle of the field as soon as he gets his hands up and you're targeting a receiver in the middle of the field on a dig route or a post route or a 10-yard in. It kind of makes it unfortunate when he ends up batting it down.
It's a bad idea to throw over the middle of the field. It's a bad idea to throw over Isaiah Lard. You need to either move him with your eyes, pump fake him. Otherwise, he does not let you complete passes over the middle of the field. 19 seconds left. Joe Maru takes the snap. Completes. Incomplete. He was looking for Emile Chateauvert on the play. Another misfire by Joe Maru.
Yeah, so it seems like that was basically just a basic concept that Braves kind of run. They run a go from Murphy. Mill kind of does a hook. You have Mike doing a left, a right drag, and then you have JD doing a inside dig.
We have perhaps the most important 16 seconds of the game coming up. If Flagmois can hold for 16.7 seconds, they will maintain a tie game going into half. If Braves score, they'll have a chance to take a two-possession lead. We have a real out from JD Chevalier, who steps out of bounds before midfield. Third down, clock stopped.
Yeah, so that was
fourth down. Nope.
Third, yeah.
First down is gained. The official signaling that he crossed midfield. We have 12.3 seconds left. They're looking end zone. Do you look end zone on the first play, or are you trying to cut this in half?
I think you try to cut it off. You have about 11 seconds left in the game. You have enough time to complete a pass and then waste one of your timeouts and then have a manageable second down and goal compared to being the midfield right now, where if you do attempt the ball in the end zone, it should be covered way better than it would if you're able to cut the field in half.
And we see the clock has been updated. We have roughly 10 seconds left to play. That should be enough for two attempts. They do have a timeout they can choose to consume. If I am in the Braves' cleats, I'm looking to cut this in half, perhaps an Emile Chateauvert pass, quickly call a timeout, and then you're looking end zone on the final play of the half. It's a quick out route towards JD Chevalier. No need to use the timeout. That's all they needed for a 3-yard gain, still 8 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, so that was a great play call. It only took off 2 seconds, about 3 seconds off the clock. So now they actually have an error. I believe they could run an error 2 plays. Instead of, we said they had 2 plays, but they actually had 3 plays. So it seems like they're going to have 2 plays before this half is over.
This is where the savvy Braves find extra plays. When other teams see 2, they see 3. I wouldn't even be surprised here to see another similar concept, a hook on the sideline, get out of bounds. I don't know how many times you've seen Drysdale catch a 3-yard hook, step out of bounds, and then give them an even more manageable shot at the end zone. You have Murphy on the left, Gabriel David-Champagne on the right, JD motioning over. The pass is complete. No, it is dropped by JD Chevalier. Clock is stopped on the drop. 5 seconds left. Third down.
Yeah, so they're kind of in the same concept. They had Gab going a straight through, and they had JD coming right across underneath him. I believe if he made that catch there probably would have been at least 4 seconds, so maybe an error 2 plays. But right now we're looking about at 5 seconds left, so I think this is going to be the last play of the game.
Last play of the half. Last play of the game. We're going to get ourselves a little bit.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm getting a little bit tired. I had a game before this one. I would take the nap, but no. We have 3.4 seconds left. We'll call that 4 seconds. It is time to look end zone. Now the 2 targets you want to look for here are Jeremy Murphy, who has, without a doubt, the best vertical in FPF, and Gabriel Dabi-Champagne, another very physical receiver. They are both lined up to Maru's right, with JD Chevalier lined up to his left. Keep an eye out for a second quarterback.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if it's going to be a second quarterback. I think JD's probably going to draw back to take away one of the defenders, and they're probably going to try to sneak Jeremy over the top.
The Brave special. Let's see what Mauro in his bag of tricks. He's looking towards Gabriel David Champagne. That looked out of bounds to me.
Yeah, he is out of bounds.
They signal touchdown.
I believe he's out of bounds, but
is,
there was contact from Guillaume as well, so we're going to see.
There was contact. I am relatively sure he was out of bounds. We're waiting to see if we can get a better angle on this one. This is a play I would challenge. It's the last play of the half. It's a crucial play. They have the ability to challenge it. Let's see if they'll opt to do so. From our vantage point in the booth, we most definitely saw a foot come down on the blue line. Let's see here on the replay. He has a foot there on the blue line.
I believe it does hit the line.
They're not challenging it. What a mistake. Myers looking towards the back of the end zone towards Jeremy Murphy, overthrows him, and now they'll have the chance when they reclaim possession in the second half to take a 2-score lead. They opted not to challenge a decision which could come back to haunt them.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't challenge in that situation there. That's definitely something I would have challenged just because it's that play was kind of game changer. The fact that the Braves go up by 6 points now and they get the ball in the second half.
It's such a crucial play. It's what makes the difference between a 1-score game and a 2-score game. Flag-Molissac are now in the need of a stop. I did see his foot come down on the sideline. Perhaps we'll get another view of this during our intermission. Any reason not to challenge that play?
I don't know. I think I don't think they realized that he was out. They were kind of. I feel like they were kind of talking about if he had ball placement on the ball. I saw a couple of players that were kind of looking at his hands for some reason, saying if he had full possession. So I don't think they even realized that his feet was out. I don't think that was kind of a talk for them to even say, because from their angle that they had on the right side, we're easier. We get to see a replay and stuff, right? So for them, I think they kind of realized that he was in, and they kind of were trying to look for something else, and they didn't think it was going to be worth it.
Very possible. Either way, the situation we now have going into halftime is a 6-point lead for the Braves. Flag-Molissac are in a similar position as last game. They either need a stop on defense or an onside kick. Which do you think is more likely?
I think a stop is more likely. Again, this is 5v5. You see teams get so many more stops compared to 6v6. The rules are so much different. It's so much harder to actually get past midfield, and as soon as you get past midfield, you have 4 downs to get 20 yards. It's easier said than done, and a lot of teams struggle by doing it, especially when you're against good defenses like a team like Flagmois. So I believe that they're going to be able to have. I believe if they are going to get a stop, I believe it's going to be a turnover on downs.
A turnover on downs, or give you a counter proposition, a François Rochelot interception. He's looked dangerous in the first half. He came up with a huge pick at the end of the first half and probably could have had a second. He has the speed to jump routes. He seems to be in the head of Joe Maurer. If someone can come up with that pick, my money would be on Rochelot.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the same thing. Rochelot or Guillaume, I'm blanking his last name.
Bélan.
Bélan, yeah, Guillaume Bélan. Either one of those two.
Guillaume Bélan, a very talented defender, someone who used to and usually does still play with Braves. I believe he subbed with them in Division 1, didn't get enough games to qualify for the finals. But they have the weapons on defense to come up with an interception or come up with a stop.
Yes.
I do think we will see a stop in this second half. I don't think we're going to go purely score for score.
No, that's exactly it. So Guillaume does usually play with the Braves, but I feel like their roster was kind of full this year for the winter season. So I think they kind of figured that he would join Flagmois. Again, Guillaume is he's a good friend of Alex Pries, so they kind of coach together, so he's able to get him on the team.
The referees have whistled in the second half. The teams are taking to the pitch. 20 minutes left in the 5v5 final. We're coming to you live from Brossard, Quebec. I'm here, Alex Dubois, in the booth with Kwesi Gordon Mall. What Flag-Molissac need is a stop. Let's see what they can come up with on this first drive. Braves are starting from their 5 with the ball and the lead. Exactly the position they want to be in, a place they've been in time and time before.
Yeah, Flagmois is going to want to come out here, get a stop, and definitely don't give a deep ball to the Braves where they're able to score fast. The best situation for Flagmois, if Braves do score, at least make Braves earn it, let them drive them the field so they don't feel as comfortable on their second drive if they do end up scoring.
It's time for aggressive defense. You can take risks, try to jump those routes. A touchdown is not calamitous. We have here a quick completion towards J.D. Chevalier, the tackle made immediately by the very sure-handed Guillaume Bélan. A small gain of 4 yards on first down, setting up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, so that was great plays on both sides. Again, it's an easy completion for Mayer to JD, 4 yards, great, and also a great tackle by Guillaume, where it also puts him in a situation of second and about, I would say...
2nd and 12 here. They need to gain midfield. They're starting from their 5. You need a total of 20 yards, roughly. Oh, maybe even a bit more. Let's see. Mayer knows exactly what to do in these kind of situations. He pump fakes. He completes towards Émile Chadouvert, who scampers out of bounds, tackled by Guillaume Robert after a gain of 10. Not quite enough for the first down, but that 3rd and short situation in which the Braves love to be.
Yeah, so again, you kind of see JP. I think he looks a bit tired there. He had Mayer, he had the sack, he just ended up missing it. You kind of can see he's kind of walking back here, very in slow motion, kind of frustrating with himself because I think he feels that he could have had a sack there. That would have been huge for his team.
That could have been a difference maker. Instead of 3rd and short, 3rd and very long is a difficult position to get out of. We have 2 receivers to Mayer's left. We have Murphy running in and out, and it's him who catches the ball. He's now dancing in front of Guillaume Robert. He is tackled first down just inside Flag-Molsac's territory.
Yeah, so again, good play calling on the Braves. They kind of had the 2 deep routes that they were maybe going to hit. He realized it wasn't there. They end up checking it down to Jeremy Murphy. Again, good defense. Good play calling for the Braves, but also good defense for Flagmont. The fact that Jeremy only got 3 yards after that first down puts them in a great position on 1st and goal for the Braves to make a drive here.
And you do see Braves coming out a bit more conservative. They're running simple drags, an in and out move there at the sticks. Usually you see Braves take a shot deep on 3rd and short. Here they're very happy with the first down, and let's see what they do with that first down. They have an Émile Chadouvert hook on the sidelines. He drops the pass, a rare drop from the usually sure-handed Chadouvert.
Yeah, so maybe a lot of people say when you hear footsteps coming, you kind of get a bit nervous. So maybe that's kind of little jitters that Émile felt kind of there.
He was definitely thinking about his next move. This is perhaps the shiftiest player in FPF, has a fantastic dip move, a spin move, and just such a great burst in his first 2 or 3 steps. He was probably trying to see how he can make his defender miss, took his eyes off the ball, and that resulted in the drop you saw. We now have a 2nd and long coming up for the Braves. Murphy and Chevalier to Mayer's left, Pierre Saint with the ball in his hands, and Émile Chadouvert, the sole receiver, to his right. 2nd down. JP St. Pierre stares down Joe Mayer, rushes, barrels down on him. Mayer's throwing towards JD Chevalier, passes, caught. He is gang tackled by a collection of Flag-Molsac defenders, but not before he picked up 10 yards, setting up 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, so again, great play calling from the Braves. They had Mike to go underneath the route. They had Mike coming underneath the route, realized that it wasn't there. They had JD was able to sneak inside with a deep hook, easy completion, and now they're in 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. So they have 2 attempts to score a touchdown here.
And on top of that, they have 2 attempts to score a touchdown. They've also now milked 4 minutes off the clock. This is exactly what the Braves want to do. A slow touchdown is the slow and painful death they want to inflict upon Flag-Molsac. And with a JD Chevalier touchdown, that's exactly what they did. 4 minutes and a score. Prototypical Braves drive. They now take a 12-point lead. They'll opt to go for 2. A number to keep in mind here is 15. 15, when considering the onside kick, is a 3-possession game, whereas 14, if this were to be successful, still remains 2 possessions with an onside kick and then a 2-point convert.
Yeah, so exactly it. Flagmont is going to want to make sure they can stop this 2-point convert, keep it a 12-point game. Don't let the lead get too large to a point where you can't.
JD Chevalier drops the second quarterback. The ball goes towards JD. No one's rushing JD. He throws a no-look pass towards Gabriel Dabé Champagne. No look, but the 2 points are good. Mike Pierre Saint got out of the way and is a 14-point lead for the Braves. Still within striking distance with an onside kick, but they're starting to pull away. This Flag-Molsac team needs something, and they need it in a hurry.
Yeah, they're going to have to start hurrying up their offense here. They're down by 14 points. Now it's for them. It's catch up time again. It's not out of reach too much, but they're gonna have to start speeding up their play calling.
Let's see if Nadeau shows off that impressive arm of his. He makes his ILR miss. He completes towards Rochelot, who spins towards the sidelines, forced out of bounds by Murphy. That's a gain of 7. He had his brother running a deep post across the field, but Samuel was well covered by the talented Phil Ferrand.
Yeah. So again, he avoided the rush. I'm surprised he threw the ball there to Kashlo. I believe he had JP wide open in the middle of the field, but he decided to throw the ball cross arm to Kashlo there.
It's those Roche-Rouleau yak yards which are just so attractive. He can turn a 3-yard hook into a 30-yard gain. Let's see now. We have second down. Nadeau Pius takes the snap. He has a crosser coming across the field. He's looking deep towards Rochelot. Jeremy Murphy elevates. There is contact. There is an interception. That is the dagger in the heart of Flag-Molsac. First down, Brave. Murphy elevated far above Rochelot, who punts the ball away in frustration.
Yeah, so unfortunately he threw the ball to Kashlo. That was a man-to-man concept. If he did throw that ball to Kashlo as a complete go, he kind of I feel like he kind of undersailed it there, where Jeremy was able to make a huge vertical play, make an interception. He also had his brother wide open on a. It seems like it was a 15-yard in where he didn't get to see, and he ended up forcing the ball to Kashlo.
Do you think Rochelot was open and he was underthrown, or was that simply a mistaken read?
I think Kashlo was open if he aired it out to a point where only Kashlo would be able to make that catch.
That being said, it's Murphy who came down with the ball. Murphy gives the ball back to the Braves, who now are looking for the deep shot. Maurer overthrows Gabriel Dabé-Champagne. He was looking to put this game to bed and missed Champagne by a matter of feet.
Yeah, so unfortunately he missed his throw there because that would have been actually the dagger of the game. It was two verticals. Both receivers had both the defenders beat. Mayer just kind of overthrew it, overshot it. Maybe I think he kind of figured the defenders would have been a bit closer, but that was not the case at all.
That being said, you see the savvy vet that Joe Maurer is. He missed far. Instead of Nadeau Pius, who did miss a few feet short, and as we saw, an interception, this was a ball placed where either Gabriel Champagne or the turf could catch it. The turf came up victorious on that one, but the Braves live again to fight with another down, and they're still in second and manageable. They need second and a gain of 20 for midfield. We have trips to the left with Gabriel Dabé-Champagne flex towards the sideline. We have a crossing route by J.D. Chevalier, the tackle made immediately by Nadeau Pius, a pickup of 5 yards. If you're the Flag-Molsac defense, are you okay giving up the 5-yard gain, or do you want to be more aggressive and try to force an interception?
No, 5-yard gain is for me, especially when I'm playing 5v5 and competitive. A 5-yard gain is it's great. That's something that you're able to give up. Again, it's 15 yards, it's 20 yards to a first down, right? So right now they get themselves in a situation where it's 3rd and 10, and it's manageable for a defense to make a stop here.
And this Flag-Molsac defense does need a stop. An onside kick is no longer enough. They will need a stop. And the onside 3rd and 10. Maurer takes the snap. He's looking across the field. He's looking towards Gabriel Dabé-Champagne. It is overthrown. That's a soft flag.
Yeah, that is a very soft flag. That contact wasn't super aggressive, but again, you can't necessarily make any contact. It seems like when the ball was thrown, Kashlo kind of made a play to the ball where he's just trying to make a defender move where most defenders do make it, but Gab ended up falling down, so it made the call more realistic as unnecessary contact.
In Division 1 competitive 5v5, those are the kind of plays that happen. I am someone who does very much favor the defensive side of the ball, but that's the kind of contact I would choose to let play. It's a hip-to-hip move. I think Gabriel Dabé-Champagne made the most of that, sold the play very well to his credit. I would have rathered in a final see that flag, stay in the ref's pocket, and then force a 4th down. Instead, we have 1st and goal for the Braves. They're coming to the 1-yard line. It looks like we're going to have Joe Maurer standing directly under center. Nadeau Pius staring down Maurer and Pierre Saint, forcing them to blink. Dabé-Champagne runs a fade route. The ball's fired towards him. He hooked towards the sideline. Incomplete.
Yeah, as I'm the same way as like you. I would also I'm more a defender as well, so I would kind of like the ref to kind of keep that flag in his pocket. But it is what it is. Again, at the end of the day, not every ref is going to make the certain call that you want. If you want them to make the call, you kind of sometimes don't want to put the game in the ref's hands as well, right? So
And there was contact. We're not saying there was no contact. Rochelo opened the door to a flag being thrown. We wish it hadn't been thrown, but I do see why the decision was made.
yeah, for sure.
We now have second goal. If you think back now to your Division 1 final, the Braves did struggle to score from this short yardage scenario. This is where the Flagmois defense had looked the best. We're now approaching a bunch set. We saw that Braves scored off of this earlier in the game with a corner route. Let's see if they're coming back to that corner. We have Murphy running a quick out. We throw towards Pierre-Saint. Touchdown, Mike Pierre-Saint. He was on an island. There is no one on his half of the pitch.
Yeah, so they did a great job at the beginning. They end up they end up forgetting where Mike was. Mike kind of sneaked out to the right side all by himself, and John Mayer kind of was looking to the left side, and then he came back to the right for his last read.
Mike Pierre-Saint had the most receptions for this team, the second most yards. That is 48 receptions, 504 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's not the kind of player you want to forget. He's someone you should be keeping tabs on at all times, especially in the red zone. But the savvy FPF vet slips out towards his right, scored the touchdown, and now has given his team a 20-point lead, looking to make that 22, thrown towards the back of the end zone. Nadeau Pius gets a hand on that ball. There are still 8 minutes left, but time is ticking away, and it's looking like Braves will double down on their championship unless Flagmois can make something happen in a hurry.
Yeah, so right now we have a 20-point game, about 8 minutes left in the game. So Flagmois is definitely going to have to try to score as fast as they can, get a stop, score, then they have the onside in their back pocket. They're going to also have to make sure that they don't do anything that's going to cause them to throw interception and kind of just control. Again, 8 minutes is still a lot of time.
It's still a lot of time, but Nadeau Pius needs to hurry up. Let's see if he's looking deep. He has a go towards his receiver. I think there's a whistle on the play that was ruled incomplete. The receiver does not seem happy with that call.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that the ref in the far back made that call. You would think that the side judge on the right side would had more access to see the ball, but unfortunately that it was the top ref that made that one.
And I think we have a challenge coming up here that looks like a completed pass, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a bing bang. It's kind of a point where if you're looking at it in the fast time, especially for a ref, you think it does hit the floor. But the fact that we're looking in the replay, it seems like he just kind of picks it up just before it's about to hit the floor.
And you made a very astute observation here. We do have a 4-man crew, which is unusual, right? You're used to seeing normally 2, sometimes 3. So the 4-man mechanics are slightly different. That incomplete call would generally come from the official closer to the play and not from the official standing slightly further away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I feel like it's going to be the ref on the right side because we have the backfield ref looking at the quarterback. So usually it's the side ref on the right side that is looking at the quarterback, but because we have a 4-man, it's the right side that kind of has better angle and also vision that he doesn't have to.
Let's see now. We have a replay coming up on your screen. We're going to play this in frame by frame. The ball's coming in. It's spiraling. And then does Belin get his hands under it? It appears that it touched the ground there. From that angle, it looked like it bounced into his hands.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but I feel like the tip did end up touching the floor.
I think the tip touched the floor. And at the very least, I don't think you have conclusive video evidence to overturn the call on the field. It could be inconclusive, but either way, I don't think we've seen anything so far which makes us concretely go, yes, that was a completed pass.
Exactly. You know what's kind of also funny? That it's unfortunate that Flagmois is wasting their challenge for a play like this, and they didn't waste it before halftime.
On the Gabriel Dabi-Champagne play, it feels like this challenge came out of a place of frustration rather than a clearly thought-out decision.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But you would feel like the veteran presence that Flagmois has, the fact that these guys do coach. Yeah, looking at it now, it seems it's so weird. It seems like the tip does end up touching the floor, but it's so fast in the movement. But what I was trying to get at is that it seemed what I was trying to say is that the fact that Flagmois is a team that's so the veteran presence and kind of they understand how the game is run and it runs like that. The fact that they use the challenge for this and not be before halftime.
The catch is good. It was a successful challenge from Flagmois-le-Sac. Walter Berry, our video official up in the booth, saw enough to overturn the call on the field. We now have second and short. Time will start on the whistle of our head official. Time is in. Flagmois-le-Sac now need a score in a hurry. Hopefully that overturned call will give them the boost they needed. This is completed. It was looking towards Guillaume Bélan, but Murphy was lurking and got his hands on that ball, very nearly intercepted.
Yeah, so that concept was kind of weird. You had Hushlo going a go, and then you had a hook from Bélan, but then you had the underneath from Guillaume that was also coming across the field. So the fact that Jerry Murphy was technically able to cover two guys in one zone makes his job so much easier.
You shouldn't be calling a play where one defender can take away two receivers. That is not smart play calling. We have third down. We're looking towards Rochelot on the sidelines. That is complete. He tries to make Farran miss. Farran does not miss, but it is enough for a first down. First and goal from the 10-yard line. 4 shots from the 10 to get a score.
Yeah, great play calling by Flagmois. They kind of just picked the zone that was open for them. Got the ball to Hushlo, got the first down, but they kind of have to speed up here. I don't like how long this huddle is. I don't like how long this huddle is right now.
Do they feel slightly defeated towards you? It doesn't feel like they think they can win this game.
I don't think so. I think just the veteran preference from Flagmois. I don't think they're a team where they realize they're down by 20 and they're kind of like saying, "Oh, the game's over." I think they've been through a lot. This is a veteran team. This is a team that's been in this league for years now. I'm sure they've been in situations being down by 20 before and winning games. So again, I think for them, this is just a different day.
And on first down there, we saw a miss. Nadeau Pius was looking towards number 83. That's Guillaume Robert. Had him open down the sideline, simply overthrew him. We still have them alive to fight on second down. We have a crosser coming across the field, complete towards Bélan. Tackle is made by Champagne for a gain of 5 yards. Third down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, so they're good coverage by the Braves. They kind of made sure they cover everything over top and gave them underneath. So that's why we got a 5-yard gain here. Critical third down right now. We're looking at maybe 3rd and 5, where Flagmois going to have 2 attempts to score here. But again, time's against them.
Time is against them. They need the score. They need the stop. They need the onside. There are a lot of musts. But the first of those musts was very nearly there. Guillaume Bélan had the ball in his hands. Murphy was a disruptive presence as usual, and it came up incomplete, setting a do-or-die 4th down. Flagmois need to get a score on this play.
Yeah, that was a great play by Jeremy Murphy. It seemed like Bélan was by himself when that ball was thrown. Jeremy was able to stick out a hand at the last second, kind of caused a bit of misconcept towards Guillaume catching the ball, and ended up being incomplete.
We're setting up for a decisive 4th down. Nadeau Pius has the ball. He's looking towards the front of the end zone. It's caught towards Saint-Pierre. Touchdown. And they are opting to go for the onside kick. Do you think it's a mistake to go for the onside kick now?
No, I don't think so. I think they go for onside kick here. They end up if they do attempt to actually getting it. It kind of puts them in a situation where they put the pressure back on Braves. The fact that if they give the ball back to the Braves after scoring this attempt here, after scoring that they just did, it kind of just gives Braves enough time to kind of waste clock. The fact that they're doing onside kick here, if they do get a successful onside kick and they do end up scoring, it puts them in a situation where the pressure is back on Braves, and the Braves have to make an offensive drive that's going to count for them to close out this game.
Season on the line at the moment for Flagmois-le-Sac. Their leading receivers are François Rochelot and Samuel Nadeau-Plus. Third is Guillaume Bélan. Let's see who they look towards. We have J.D. Chevalier lining up nearly at his own goal line. We're running a post complete towards Samuel Nadeau-Plus. It is caught. That was a very strange defensive concept. Could you explain to me why J.D. Chevalier would line up nearly on his own 5-yard line instead of at midfield?
So they were kind of looking to see if there was just going to be a straight through or a jump ball. It's kind of weird that he did line up there, but I feel like at the end of the day, he probably would have ended up there after the snap was snapped. So he kind of just got an advantage and got there before.
And that was a gorgeous ball from Nadeau-Plus, laid in between 2 defenders. He fit it where only his brother could catch it. We're now looking for the touchdown towards Rochelot off of his outstretched fingertips. A bit too much mustard on that ball. Second down.
Yeah, so kind of going back to the onside kick, I feel like they kind of knew the concept, what kind of play they're going to run. It came to a point where they knew Isaiah was going to take away half of the field. So the Braves, a lot of the times where they feel like the mid of the field is not going to be open because Isaiah's taking it away, you kind of can sneak a receiver behind there, and that's exactly what they did. That timing route between Alex Prees and his brother Nick and his brother Samuel. Yeah, that was a perfect route, perfect call.
Time is ticking away for these Flagmois championship hopes. Samuel needs a touchdown now. He makes a Zaya Larmish. Touchdown to Francois Rochulot. They're back within striking distance. They're down 8. Let's see if they opt to go for 1 or 2. Either way, they will need a stop on the upcoming Braves drive.
Yeah, great play. Sucks that Isaiah missed a sack there. That he definitely could have changed the game, the momentum, but he ended up missing there. They are going for 2 to make it a 6-point game. But back to what I was kind of saying, now the fact that even if they miss this point, they're only down by 8, and now it puts the pressure back on Braves. The fact that the Braves are going to have to make a drive at the end of the day to close this out.
You're completely right. They'll put the pressure back on the Braves for one final decisive drive. But right now, a 2-point conflict coming up. Nadeau Pugh scrambles towards his right, throws, simply missed JP Saint-Pierre, but JD Chevalier was in tight coverage. We have an 8-point Braves lead. A score will put this game to bed. Flagmois Sac have put their championship hopes in the hands of their defense. They need a stop, and they need it on this drive. Who can deliver this miracle for Flagmois?
I think just it's going to be a team thing. I think they're all going to have to come together. They have to make sure they don't give the deep ball. Anything that they do give up, it has to be under routes, 4 or 5 yards. Get the Braves into a situation where it's going to be 4th and 6, 4th and 7, something that's going to be non-manageable for the Braves to do easily compared to Flagmois being comfortable and having the Braves in a situation like that.
The other enemy of Flagmois is the clock. We have 2:15 and counting, 15 seconds from pro clock, 2 minutes from the end of the game. Mike Pierre-Saint tackled inbound after a 5 yards gain. Time is running. Time is ticking away.
So again, that's exactly perfect call for both teams. Flagmois feels comfortable giving Mike the 5 yards, and also Braves feel as comfortable as well giving up the 5 yards. We see that we're in the 2-minute clock right now, so time will stop on incompletions or when you get out of bounds.
It's coming to a point where first down might give the Braves the ability to even kneel out the game without scoring a touchdown. Can they get a stop, or do they need to get a stop without conceding a first down?
I think it depends, really. It depends on the time management here. If the Braves do get a first down right now, we're still looking at about 1:45. I believe each play clock is 30 seconds, so I don't think it's going to be enough time. We're going to be at 1:20, so they're gonna have to use a bit more time than that.
Second down for the Braves. Maurer behind Pierre-Saint takes the snap. He looks towards his right. He completes to Murphy, who gets tackled inbounds wisely. He was not forced out of bounds. Time continues to run. 3rd and short. They'll snap this ball. Timeout called by Flagmois Sac. Is that their last timeout? Yes, they went for an onside kick, so that is Flagmois Sac's last timeout with 1:52.
I wonder, do you need to have a timeout to call an onside? No, you don't, right? Sorry, not onside kick.
Already used their onside kick.
A challenge. I don't think you need to use a. I don't think you.
You do not.
I don't. How many challenges do you have?
You have one challenge. If that challenge is successful, which it was in the case of Flagmois, you get a second. That second, regardless of outcome, is your final challenge.
So you don't get 3, you only get 2. Okay.
Maximum of 2, even if both are successful.
Okay, so Flagmois doesn't have any more challenges because they used 2 already.
Yes, so they are challenge-less, they are timeoutless. Their championship hopes reside on their defense getting a stop on 3rd and very short. Murphy to Maurer's left, Chateauvert to his right. Pierre-Saint snaps the ball. Maurer's looking towards the depth. It is intercepted by Guillaume Bella. That is their best defender, who came up huge. But what a risky call to look deep over the middle of the field when all you needed was 2 yards to close out the championship game.
So if something that's kind of funny, that's exactly the same play that we talked about in the first half, where I was saying Hushlow and Guillaume were both just in the middle of just missing the pass to JD, and the fact that this time Guillaume was able to close down and get a must-needed interception.
Guillaume Bellon has been the leading ball hawk for Flagmois Sac. 4 interceptions, 4 passes to defend, and now has given his team a chance to win it all, or at least tie it up. Nadeau Pugh looks towards Guillaume Robert. That's a 7-yard completion, and now time is in the favor of Flagmois Sac. They want to milk some clock and then score, but they will need the 2-point convert.
Yeah, unfortunately, they missed their last 2-point convert. If somehow they got it, that they would have felt really comfortable only being down by 6. But again, there's lots of time left.
I don't think they've hit a single conversion attempt all game. We're completing towards Francois Rochelot, who's reaching the ball over the yard marker. That is a first down gained, which stops the clock until the ready for play whistle.
I believe he also got out of bounds too, so I think it's going to stop the clock in general. I think they're going to have lots of time. Now they can get themselves in a huddle here, relax, catch their breath, kind of get some things going. Kind of tell their guys, let's go. Well, we're in it. We have 1 minute and 14 seconds left in this game. We just one play at a time. Again, now time is against them, but there's so much time left in this game.
So they want to score, but they don't want to score too soon because we know this Braves offense doesn't need much more than 30 seconds to score. Let's see where he's looking. It's intercepted by Murphy, and that will do it. Murphy seals the game with an interception, and the Braves are your 5v5 champions. They are your Division 1 champions. They are reigning supreme on top of the FPF world.
Yeah, so that was a very bad call. He had Hushlow right underneath for an easy dump and pass where Hushlow was going to easily be able to make at least 5 yards. Instead, he took his corner route from his brother that him and his brother used to always do so often. But at this time, it was not there, and it's the fact that it ended up being the cause of them losing this game.
And even if that was a completed pass, even if they scored a touchdown, they would have left over a minute for Braves to score and then try to win. The right route there was the shorter concept towards Rochelot. That being said, we saw 2 mistakes at the end. They wound up canceling each other out like at the end of the first half. The end outcome is the Braves being crowned victorious. They are your champions in Division 6. They are your champions in 5v5. Is this the best team in FPF?
You have to give it to them. Again, the last season as well, they got double crowned. They won 5v5 and they won 6v6. So again, they did it again in winter 5v5 and 6v6. We always say that winning a winter championship is probably the hardest championship to do. It's where you have the most teams, you have the most players, you have the most talent that comes out. So being able to win a championship in the winter season, you have to give your props to them.
And they deserve all the credit. They came here and they delivered a clinic. They came into this game, we said it. We said the Braves are underdogs, a very dangerous take, and they made us eat our words. They came out of this one as champions. Flagmoissac had beat them in the regular season, but simply put, Braves executed better. They didn't make as many mistakes. They did what they needed to do, and they're able to escape with what was, all in all, a comfortable win.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was pretty much the fact that the Braves played way better than Flagmois, 100%. Flagmois was down by 20 at one point. The Braves are lucky. Flagmois is lucky enough to make this even a game, lucky enough to have a last drive that they had. A lot of teams would have just folded, and they would have just been we would have probably said, oh, this game is over by when it hit like the 3-minute mark, and they would have been by 20. Fortunately, they were able to come back and do what they did, but again, it wasn't enough.
The only question left is who is the finals MVP? Thankfully, we have the answer down at field level right now with Jeff and Ben McMahon.
Back to field level with our winter 2025 5v5 competitive champs, the Braves. Joe Meyer, come, my friend. Hey. So we have something special going on right now with the Braves. The Braves won the fall 5v5 and the fall 6-on-6. The Braves won the winter 5-on-5 and the winter 6-on-6. Now, you guys are back in the spring in both divisions. We have something that we might call the Brave Slam. Do you think you can get it? And what do you think you need to do to win those next 2 championships in the spring?
It's getting tougher each time. Like staying at the top, it's tough. But I think what we've just done, winning, like you said, 2 championships in the winter, 2 championships in the fall, and I think if I remember correctly, we won in spring 6-on-6. So and again, it's getting tougher. The team are getting more motivated to beat us, and even playing against Flagmoissac, the guys are so good. Our defense played tremendous today, so it's going to be again, like trying to make sure we renew ourselves, we find new plays, not being too predictable. It's getting tough. The league is so good now. Everybody can play 5-on-5. So yeah, no, it's gonna be a big challenge. But yeah, we're gonna be there in the spring and hopefully 2 more.
Listen, first of all, it wouldn't be the same without the Braves there. And I just want to tell you on a personal note, having the Braves in FPF is a huge thrill for me personally, getting to play against them, getting to compete against Joe, who's a class act. My opinion, top 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks in Canada. Looking forward to seeing what happens with the Team Canada team and all your boys. Joe, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much. And for the MVP of this game, very close contest between a few of these guys. Gab, get over here, kid. Congrats. Gab, question. I know basketball player turned flag football player. What does it mean to be with these bunch of guys who are, in my opinion, the best flag football team in Canada?
I mean, it's always fun, so I'm just happy they got me in a team, and hey, it's always fun to win, so.
Hey, we got not that many words from a man who speaks on the field. He does his talking on the field. Guys, we have our winter 5v5 champs, the Braves. They're coming for everyone in the spring. This is the #1 team in Canada right now. There's nothing else to say about it. Back to you in the booth.
The Braves are your champions. Gabriel Dabé-Champagne is your finals MVP. Very well deserved. 2 interceptions, a huge touchdown at the end of the first half. He was a difference maker going both ways for this Braves team.
Yeah, exactly it. The touchdown he made just before the halftime was a huge turnaround for the Braves. The fact they were able to go up by 6, get the ball back, get the momentum, then score again right away in the first, going back into the second half. And I believe he also got the 2-point convert. So again, he played a great game. He had key interceptions where they didn't need it, and he had a key touchdown going into the second half.
All things came up Braves today. They not only beat Flagmasac once, they beat them twice. The Braves have doubled down as FPF champions. A shout out, despite not playing much of the final game, to James Drysdale, who won 3 championships in back-to-back-to-back games, which clearly did take his toll on his body. But there you have it. The Braves are on top of the FPF world, double champions. We are now signing off in Brossard, Quebec, coming back to you in a few moments with more 5v5 final actions. This was Alexis Dubois in the booth.
And Kwesi Gordon
For the final of the 5v5 competitive division, the Braves are your champions. Stay tuned for more finals actions coming to you from Brossard, Quebec.